Happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone. Now, this 3 on Your Side special presentation.
To you on this St. Patrick's Day, a beautiful day here in Lafayette Square.
It's a beautiful day all across town. It's just gorgeous today.
Can't beat this weather right now.
Not at all. We can introduce ourselves, I guess. I'm Kim Gusby.
I'm Lindy Brennan.
We love to have Lindy here, a legend in Savannah area.
An icon, actually.
He's going to tell a lot of stories. We said many of them are true, many of them aren't as well, but that's okay. And I'm Andrew Davis, honored to be back here with the Hall of Famer, Kim Gusby, as well.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. And the newly appointed Assistant News Director of WSAV News 3, Andrew Davis. A lot has happened over the past year.
We got a lot of stuff going on. Right? You got a good title you want to come up with, Lindy, while we're here?
No, because I would have gone. I was about to go with something King, and then that's way too political right now, so I'm going to stop that right this moment.
Well, you know, today the sun is out. It's a bit breezier than I expected it to be today, but it'll warm up pretty soon.
Well, the perfect weather for the folks marching in the parade. You know, get out there, get a little warmed up, and the weather is perfect for it. It's a pretty good crowd today, too. You know, whenever you come here on St. Patrick's Day, it's going to be a big old crowd, but a Monday parade and a Tuesday, even and a Wednesday parade are often a little calmer and have a little more of a local emphasis. We don't get as many bands from out of town, for one thing.
Really? We're going to have a huge parade, but right now, Ben Catco is out on the street, as well as Patty Turner. Ben, what can you tell us?
Oh there, and good morning, guys. We're over here on the steps of the cathedral. We're awaiting the arrival of the Grand Marshal for the traditional blessing here on the steps. A beautiful day, you guys said it. It is a wonderful day out here. It is a little chilly if you find yourself in the shade, so I would suggest finding some sunlight. But let's take a look this morning at the church service. Happened around 8 o'clock, a real traditional way to kick off the St. Patrick's Day festivities here in Savannah. Just a beautiful way to start your day. It was packed inside the church, as it always is. So we'll be out here on the steps, hanging out, waiting for the Grand Marshal, Mr. Jay Burke, to make his way up here. He is, of course, at the beginning of the parade. We'll try to catch up with him as he is blessed to really get this thing kicking into high gear this morning. We've also got some special surprises for the folks on the street today, so make sure you stick around with us.
We love to see you out at the cathedral having a good time, having a blast. Patty's going to be on the street with all kinds of fun as well. You know Patty gets into trouble someplace.
At some point she does, but I don't think she's in trouble just yet. I think it's a wee bit early for that. Patty Turner, good morning.
Okay, it's a little bit too early for the trouble, but you know, once that parade starts, you never know what's going to happen. So people need to stay tuned because, you know, there are a lot of great entries coming in this parade. And look who we have here. We have our title sponsors who help make our coverage of the parade possible today. We have Cliff White and Rob Cooch from Zeros. Guys, it's great to see you again, and thank you for sponsoring our parade coverage.
Patty, thank you for having us. It's such a wonderful event. We love Savannah. This is always a historic day, and so for us to be part of that in our local community is such an amazing time. So thank you for having us as well.
And for folks who are not familiar with Zeros, which I don't know how they wouldn't be familiar with what you guys are doing right now, it's ready-made drinks with vodka that are your veteran-owned company and American-made, right?
That's true. We tell everyone it's not your typical seltzer because the seltzers that give you all the, you know, the bubbly and the burping and the bloated feeling, we don't have any. That's a true vodka drink in a can with 4 amazing flavors. We're releasing our vodka here in about 45 days. We're going to be in 18 states here in about 60 days, so it's very exciting. A lot of things are moving forward, so we're very blessed. We're very honored, and so we appreciate everyone, you know, that supports us and continues to help us grow this thing. So,
thank you, guys. Thank you. We'll be talking to you again later on in the broadcast, but enjoy the parade.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Okay, back to you guys.
Can't beat this with a stick when you get this beautiful time, and we love the sponsors who help us put this on every year to make this all happen, along with everybody from behind the scenes who makes a huge difference.
And we were talking about today being a beautiful day here in Lafayette Square. Let's take a look to our forecast. Good morning.
Now, your St. Patrick's Day forecast, sponsored by R.J. Young, Office Technology Solutions of Savannah.
Good morning, Kim and Andrew. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and everyone else. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsley alongside Chief Meteorologist Scott Roberts in our own Taylor Square celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
And it's going to be a beautiful day. We have the luck of the Irish on our side. We're going to be looking at a lot of sunshine, a big change from yesterday.
Yeah, again, like you said, luck of the Irish on our side, high pressure, lucky sunshine all day. Just take a look at this forecast. The only thing you'll need out there will be something green and festive, your sunglasses, and a light jacket.
Yeah, no need for the umbrella or that rain jacket like yesterday, so all that mess that we had for Sunday is definitely off of the coast, giving us some breezier conditions for this afternoon, and that continues for this morning and into the afternoon with lots of sunshine. Temperatures are a bit chilly right now. You might need that light jacket early on.
Yeah, even right now, that breeze out here, temperatures are in the 50s to start off the parade, back in the low 60s as we head towards lunchtime. That wind, even though it is adding a chill in the air, it's helping temperatures feel more comfortable compared to the last couple of days and even the last couple of parades, because last year it was so warm and muggy. We had a high of 81.
Yeah, it really got pretty toasty as the parade went on. In the morning there was that chill, but then once you got into the upper 70s and low 80s, it definitely, you noticed that warmth out there, needed that cold water to keep things hydrated, but with that wind today, that should help to keep things comfortable, and especially with those temperatures a little bit cooler for this year. So we're in store for a very nice day.
Yeah, we have a great forecast. Enjoy the parade. The only thing is, again, that wind, looking at wind gusts as high as 20 to 25 at times, but sunshine overhead, you really can't complain with a gorgeous forecast.
All right, that's what you can expect. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the day.
We'll see you down there. Bye.
Top of the morning to you. It's time for the live coverage of the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade with your hosts, Kim Gusby, Andrew Davis, Patty Turner, Ben Katko, meteorologist Alyssa Carsley, Chief Meteorologist Scott Roberts, Lindy Brennan, and Dr. Howard Keeley. Stay tuned, there's a lot more to come, and you have the best seats in the house. You've been waiting for this all year. It's time for the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade. With hundreds of floats and families, bands and businesses, schools and soldiers, this holiday has a wee bit of something for everyone. Now, let's get back to the celebration in Lafayette Square. With Kim, Andrew, and a cast of thousands in front and behind the scenes, let's get this Shamrock Show on the road.
Let's get this Shamrock Show on the road. Yes, we are here live in Lafayette Square downtown in Savannah, right off Abercorn Street, right across the street from the Turner Hamilton Inn, or is it Hamilton Turner Inn? Hamilton Turner Inn. We're right across the street from there in the square with just a few, couple thousand people.
A couple of our closest friends, that's all. So
the day, a couple of thousand close friends.
They all had to get here somehow, and it started bright and early this morning. 6 a.m., you see it there, the annual Land Rush. I love this. Is one of my favorite parts is watching everybody rushing to find their spot that they've had for 20, 30, 100 years, it feels like.
Well, you know, people actually camp out. They can't camp out in the square, but they camp out waiting on that 6 a.m. time when that horn is blown, and they can come in, and they get things up so quickly.
It's amazing, the speed, because they've just done it over the years. They're like, this is how we do it, and we break this down and make it work. So it's pretty amazing. They got their tables, their chairs. They've got a little bit of everything.
It's
maybe
real
some
smooth
cakes
these
too.
days. You know, the first year or two, it was
a little hairy, right?
Yeah,
almost fist fights out here. But they've smoothed that all out now, and it made for a real good morning. Chilly morning this morning.
A chilly morning this morning. Now, we want to remind folks some of the things that you cannot bring in the squares, including glass and cans and styrofoam and kegs. Please keep those things at home and bring your trash bags with you, so when you unpack, you pack things back up and take it away with you, so that gives the city of Savannah, you know, less time here in the square.
Let's keep us clean. That is the goal every day, because we've got a huge parade coming up and creating amazing things to see all throughout it. And we've got some just little tastes for you here. How about bagpipes, the pipe and drums from all over, including the Rockland County Emerald Society from Rockland County, New York. Emerald Society includes a band made up of police officers from the New York metro area. Been marching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade for years. Just one of several pipe and drum bands being marching today. Got one even from Limerick, Ireland.
Listen, and you know we signed that partnership with Limerick just a few weeks ago with Savannah Mayor Van Johnson. Also, today we have plenty of chances to thank our military men and women for their service. We'll have a big contingent of the 3rd Infantry Division from Fort Stewart, plus the Navy, the Marines, and of course our Coast Guard.
Absolutely, and more than 20 bands from around the country set to participate in today's Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade. That includes, of course, the Savannah State Marching Tigers, other local favorites like Savannah High, Groves High, Johnson High, Windsor Forest, and there's another one that I seem to be missing. Maybe it's right there as the last, save the best for last.
I think you're talking about Herschel V. Jenkins Marching Band, of course, the best bands in the land.
There will be a moment when that happens, no doubt.
Listen, we're taking a look at them from last year's parade on the screen. Okay. Here's one that keeps everyone on their toes, and these people are my favorites, the Ailey Shriners. They will be out in full force like they are every year in what can only be called a St. Patrick's Day variety show. From the pirate ship to the belly dancers, to the Keystone Cops, these are fan favorites that get everyone into the act.
Our own sailor Sarah Smith talked to them last week and says she's going to get on the pirate ship today, so it's a big deal for her to be out there.
I want to see her kiss the belly.
That's what I said too. See, Kim, you and I think just alike. That was my first thought. So,
okay, we talked about Herschel V. Jenkins. We cannot talk about the parade without mentioning the Georgia Southern Eagles. You see Freedom there, and my good friend Steve Hine. This was with Patty Turner last year. They are back again. Did you know that you can study abroad on the Georgia Southern European campus in Wexford County, Ireland?
Not bad.
Yeah, we'll hear more about that from our other color commentator who will be with us later on, Dr. Howard Keeley.
Well, that looks good. You love Georgia Southern. Of course, Kim's got a couple connections over there still.
Just a few.
And a few more great things, including the Junkanoo right there from the Crab Shack, the Bahamian band who everybody loves to see. Always great to catch them front and center. Their music is amazing. Their show is the best thing. I don't know how they even walk around with all that stuff on the back of them the entire time, but they put on a show like no others for everybody.
In the past few years, they've been in the parade for a great cause, supporting breast cancer awareness with some of the things that they've done. And Lindsay, this is in what used to be your neck of the woods, Tybee Island. Yeah. They come there every year, and making the connections from Tybee to Benedictine. We'll let you take it away with the Benedictine military cadets.
Oh, and look at them, and look at the girls kissing the cadets. You know, it's something they try to stop, but it never, ever happens. You see these guys. They're getting a great education in Benedictine. The school is just an amazing thing to see these days.
And you have that connection because you went to Benedictine.
1971.
There you go. Then the Irish families right there. It's a rich heritage, of course. Thousands will join the procession of the Irish families representing different generations of Savannians. The procession actually dates back to the 1800s when Savannah families marched through downtown after feast day church services. This says here because Dan really wants to see the green goat somewhere.
Oh, does he? Well, we just saw the Buttermere float, and Mr. Buttermere was our color commentator years ago when we did the parade together. Lindy and I did.
And I rode on the Buttermere float 2 years ago. The girls and I rode with them. They were good enough to let us go along.
And also, let's talk about the Irish wolfhounds. We see them here. They are big, they're Irish, but don't be scared. They are gentle giants. We'll see the Irish wolfhounds on the parade as well.
Also very gentle, of course, are people from WSAV.
Yay!
We love them so much. Saw Tina Ty Shaw there, Alyssa Carsley, Brian Michigan, all kinds of folks out there. We're going to have a great time, so make sure you wave to them and support them because they're out here. They have the best job in the parade, I think. So.
And you know, on the float this year, Ben Singer, because Tina and Ben are celebrating 10 years together. So many people out in the square. I'm waving to Enika Edenfield, who used to be our producer here at WSAV. And, you know, shout out to a whole bunch of people. We'll talk about the names in just a minute. But right now, we're going to go back to Patty Turner, who is live on the street.
All right, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Andrew. Yep, we are here in the street near Lafayette Square with another one of our amazing sponsors, ViStar Credit Union. We have Charlene Shirk here. Charlene, it's great to see you again. You guys were here last year involved. Why do you guys love to be part of this parade here in Savannah?
Well, one of our pillars is giving back to the community, investing in community events. And when we came here, we were fairly new here in Georgia. We have about 8 branches. And we saw this event, and we were like, we absolutely have to support the community in this way. What a fun way to support the community.
Yes, it is. This is like one of the biggest events that we have all year long. Now, you guys have been in this area for how many years now?
Well, we've been around since 1952. And the last couple of years, we've come into Georgia. We've got 8 branches. We've got one here in Savannah. And in fact, last year we won Connect Savannah's Best Credit Union in Savannah. And we'd love your vote again this year. It was a real honor. And voting ends today, by the way.
And you guys do wonderful things all year long to help folks in the community. And you can watch our show, The Bridge, because we've had interviews with you guys. Charlene, thank you so much. We have to get back to
Oh, it's our pleasure. You too. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you, Charlene. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Patty. And just in case you're heading down here to the parade, let's take a look at the parade route because it starts on the other end of town at Abercorn and around Gwinnett-ish Street.
Yes, Abercorn and Gwinnett.
Right, and heads down Abercorn, goes to Broughton Street, and then Broughton to
We want to let everybody know
East
that,
Broad.
but first we got to let everybody know about our commercials.
We do have a
it time?
commercial.
It's that time, so
I
we got to
guess
pay
so.
some bills first, then we'll get you that route, show it to you in case you've never been out there. But first, want to get you right back to everything that you need to know about this one, the 201st Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade right here on WSAV.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and ViStar Credit Union.
Hey everybody, Ryan Seacrest here, along with the wonderful Vanna White.
Thank you. We hope you're having a great time watching the Savannah St. Pat's Parade.
And be sure to watch Wheel weeknights at 7, right here on WSAV.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Well, nice to have it there.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
It's Happy St. Patrick's Day. They didn't have green behind them, which is a little disappointing, I have to say.
But here's another thing, something else that happened over the past year. Ryan Seacrest, in addition to Wheel of Fortune. You know, Pat Sajak retired, and now it's Ryan Seacrest.
Well, he's the talent of the year. I mean, actually, the guy is amazing. You know, he can do anything on TV. He's like Dick Clark for a new century.
Well, he's kind of like you, Lindy, right?
I was saying, they offered it to you first, didn't they, Lindy?
Yeah, but I was a little too old.
A little too busy.
I had to turn it down.
I think that I jumped the gun a little earlier in telling you how to get here. Okay, now here's a detailed route that you can see. Take a look at the map right here. The parade starts around Gwinnett and Abercorn Streets near Forsyth Park, winding its way through the historic squares, turns onto Broughton Street, then down East Broad to Bay Street, then in front of City Hall. It cuts back up Bull Street before ending in the historic district near Harris Street. It'll take about 25 minutes from the staging area before it makes its way to us here in Lafayette Square, but you can hear the procession already coming down the street.
You can hear the police already, and they've been setting up for safety purposes in planning for the parade. They take a different approach to security, partnering law enforcement agencies, as you see there. And water barriers were actually put up in hot spots like City Market and blocking each ramp onto River Street. That's to stop those cars from pedestrian-only areas. They said simply an effort to prevent anything similar to the events of New Year's Day in New Orleans when that terrorist drove into the crowd. The sheriff's office also sending 50 deputies to help with the parade route, which is 30 more than last year.
Now you talk about water and the water barriers. Let's talk about water and the green water here in Savannah. Last Friday, the St. Patrick's Day Festival kicked off with the greening of the fountain in Forsyth Park. Lots of folks showed up for that. Beautiful weather, a beautiful day, and the greening of the fountain has been an annual tradition for nearly 40 years now. Some say it was the work of leprechauns that started the greening, but the real story goes on that in the mid-'80s, an unknown group of parade enthusiasts attempted to dye the fountain. The city then got involved, fearing the proper chemicals were not being used, and they started a new tradition. Now the greening involves children pouring dye into the fountain, a big crowd, and always great fun. A couple of years they tried to dye the Savannah River as well. That didn't work out too well.
No, it didn't work out at all. I was there for that. Near the old Savannah Electric and Power Company, there were some sort of green streaks in the river behind the tugboats, and that's all there was. But boy, we got plenty of motorcycles today. Savannah PD Police.
And now, this is a new tradition, Lindy. Did you know about this? We actually greened the fountain in Taylor Square right at WSAV. Alyssa Carsley and I were there, as well as our entire News 3 team. And that fountain is indeed green.
Absolutely. That's I love that tradition. It's something different to do. Want to be part of it all? Yes. And it's time for the parade, everybody. Just when you thought we were talking about stuff in the past, now it's time to talk about right now, which is the key, the amazing parade we have coming up.
Now, we saw the SPD motorcycles getting everything started, kicking it off, and the SPD sergeants, and now the 4th degree color guards of Knights of Columbus right here in Savannah, Georgia. They've been doing this for many, many years, chartered back in 1906.
Now you see the flags of Ireland marching by.
Now, I did my research on this one, guys. They said the tricolor is what they like to call the main flag of Ireland right there. The green stands for the Catholic population, the orange for the Protestant population, and the white, the peace between the two. Actually adopted back in the 20th century on this one.
Wow, wow. A lot of history there. You know, somewhere in the crowd, we're going to see the Rockland County Police, Emerald Society, Pipes and Drums. They participate every year. But let's talk about how big this year's parade is going to be. They wanted to scale it back just a little from last year's 200th anniversary. So we only have about, 6,000 people marching in today's parade.
Exactly. 6, 7, 12, whatever it may be.
300 floats, 300 participants, 50 floats. So just a small parade.
I'm actually surprised there's anybody in the squares because I figured everybody's marching instead.
Oh my goodness. And we always have a debate about how many people are actually in Savannah for St. Patrick's Day festivities here. Hundreds of thousands, we like to say. I know for sure that what the airport was predicting around 21,000 people flying into the city, but that's just by plane.
Well, plus, Lindy, I mean, you've seen this grow from a local event into something that has been nationally known, too. When you first started sort of covering a lot of this, it didn't have nearly as many people, I wouldn't think.
Still was a pretty big deal, though. It brought in a lot of people from out of town all the way back. You know, we're here on a Monday parade, and we're seeing a really big crowd. But, you know, you can lose track of the ebb and flow of St. Patrick's Days, you know, because you got Monday, Tuesday, and then sometimes Wednesday's pretty soft. But by the time Thursday rolls around, you know, you're talking about, oh, the parade's getting too big and lasting too long. And you go through a couple of weekend parades and start the rotation all over again.
Well, and this year, of course, we had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to prepare, so anybody still here is pretty hardcore or took a day off someplace in there, probably.
Yeah, they did. They probably took a day off. But you know who's not taking a day off? Patty Turner. She is on the street right now with someone else. Good morning, Patty.
Oh, hey, guys. You know what? You know who's coming down the street right now? Some of my favorite entrants. The Rockland County Police Emerald Society. I heard you guys talking about them just a little while ago. I got to see them on Friday night when they were at Knights of Columbus, and then they walked around the streets of Savannah. They left Knights of Columbus and ended up over at McDonough's. It is one of my favorite events of the year when they put on this huge event with them. I think you can hear the bagpipes behind me. Again, this is the Pipes and Drum Corps from the Rockland County Police Emerald Society. So these guys are always a fan favorite this time of year. All right, now it's starting to feel like a parade because we can hear them. And behind them, usually we have the Grand Marshal. So when Jay Burke comes up, we're going to talk to him and follow him up on the steps of the cathedral for the blessing. All right, let's listen in.
And you know, that was actually video from Friday night. They were here playing, and here they are in today's parade. I'm sure that they are exhausted, but you know, what's being tired when it's St. Patrick's Day in Savannah, right?
Couple days of fun. They actually started in the Scottish Regiment of the British Army in the 19th century on this one, traced all the way back to the 1800s. You've got various things of the bagpipes and what they wear, but they've been in our parade since 2005. I think they say they wouldn't miss this one by any means, Kim.
And you know, they said they started coming here because it snowed during St. Patrick's Day in New York City. So they'd rather have nice weather, wouldn't you?
Well, they get such a good reception down here, too.
And see, that's the thing. People from all over the country and all over the world come to Savannah, Georgia to take part in this parade because it's something special about St. Patrick's Day.
Chicago's parade was Saturday. It was a big parade. Yeah. Lots and lots of people. There are plenty of places you could have been in Chicago where you'd have never even known that parade happened. That doesn't happen here, where, you know, the city's taken over by this.
There is something special. There's a family-oriented aspect to this. It's not just, hey, we're walking down the street and stand there, but it's the people you get to meet. You get the families, the clans that are in the middle of this that makes this something different.
And the people who come back home for this, and this is a good time for shout-outs because your granddaughters, Gracie, both of them, Gracie and Rose are both here. Gracie's in D.C. now. Rose is in Athens. My daughter, Rashay, lives in D.C. She's here with her friend Kayla Berry. They've been coming for years and years and years. We saw our old producer, Enika Edenfield, a whole bunch of people. Oh, listen, we see the guy from, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Ricky from Mike Costello.
He's
Ricky
there.
He's waving at us right now. He has a podcast as well, too.
I have Jay Burke here. He is the Grand Marshal for the 2025 201st Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade. Jay, how are you feeling today?
I feel wonderful. Just a great event. It's a lifetime event. Just so incredible.
And you are now literally following in the footsteps of your father. In 1992, he was the Grand Marshal. That's got to be so special for you. And to see all your friends here along the parade route.
Yeah, it's a blessing come true. I'm just so grateful. Just feel the love in the whole city this time of year. Everybody comes together. The weather's great, and I'm just so impressed with the parade and everything.
The parade has grown so much over the years. I mean, as you can see, Jay Burke has lots of fans here in the Savannah area.
I do. Got a big family, and I'm so proud of being able to represent my family in the parade.
I know it's so special to have your daughter and your sister involved in all of this.
Yeah, my whole family. My son Jameson's right here, and then this is my daughter Caroline. So they're my
Congratulations for your dad.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be here today?
I'm super proud of him. So excited. Yes.
Can you believe it? He's going to be blessed on the cathedral steps in just a few minutes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
that's
excited.
part of what the Grand Marshal gets.
Okay, good. I'm
It's
excited.
my first time being here. I don't know.
Your first time, but this is the best time to be here. All right. Well, we're following Jay Burke as he is getting ready to walk up the steps of the Cathedral Basilica of St. John the Baptist and get blessed by Bishop Stephen Parks. They're all waiting for him on the steps. So he's busy greeting all of his fans right now.
Out of breath. That's a long walk over there. She's gotten all the way around the square.
Exhausted. Meanwhile, Jay Burke is like the Energizer Bunny, right? He's been doing everything over the past, 10 days as the ambassador of Savannah's St. Patrick's Day celebration, following in the footsteps of his father, who was parade Grand Marshal 28 years ago, back in 1992. You know, he and his father actually started the parade on Tybee Island?
Yeah, well, he
Did
was
not know that.
I have no clue.
One of the people involved in putting it all together, and another person who was involved in that was somebody we worked for. It was Michael Sullivan.
Really?
Formerly a news director here and other TV stations around here. He was involved in putting that together with Jay Burke and a lot of other folks.
Wow.
And you can see them coming up to the Cathedral Square for the annual blessing. Really it's almost an emotional thing with all the fun that's surrounding this and the excitement. This is that moment to pause and remember why we're here. You think of the Mass in the morning and then this moment too, to get that blessing and make sure we have the best parade possible all year long.
And a little different scenery this year. Usually you see people on the steps. This year, because of the scaffolding, because they are doing some renovations there at the church, which is more than 100 years old.
Yeah.
But the ceremony remains the same, and inside the church will remain the same. Ben Catco's on the steps. We're going to take a moment here to pause and listen as Jay Burke gets his blessing.
That's a moment that really becomes very special to me, just to take that pause for a second.
Well, we have to take that pause. You know, it's a sacred moment, and even though we didn't have any audio, we want to see him being blessed and receive that blessing. And now we can continue on with the parade.
And the families marching by. We'll have so many folks walking by today.
There are so many. We missed a few of the past Grand Marshals here. You had the Bishop Coat of Arms, Bishop Parks. I think some of these are coming up now as we're looking at it. It's always fun because we try to get every piece of the parade, but somewhere in there you start to keep going and you forget the parade keeps moving. So you're catching up going, well, who would this be? Well, this is, I believe, his staff, probably the adjutant staff. You saw Eden walking in the front there. She's working hard. We've got a lot of reporters out there working very hard.
Oh, so many people. It's all hands on deck today. Everybody from people behind the scenes and people in front of the camera. They're out getting the most of today and trying to get it on camera for you. So maybe you can see it later today. Don't forget to join in to watch our 6 o'clock newscast. Are we doing first news at 4 today?
4 and 5,
okay,
yeah,
4,
absolutely.
5, and 6. Okay.
The news never stops.
The news never stops, but we never know who's going to be sitting on the desk.
Exactly. That's also true. We were talking about all the people we've seen, including Roche, who I love seeing every year. I love to see her more, but, you know, she's very busy now up in D.C.
Oh,
so.
she's busy in D.C. and in New York City. You know, of course, she's a dancer, a professional dancer now. But your daughter was here a couple of years ago.
Years ago, she was there. She's up in Columbia. She's a working woman, so she's back in the law office doing work. So wanted to give a quick shout out, though, too. There is one missing.
I know.
We love Megan Slats. She's always
Megan
here.
Slats. But we can't call her that anymore.
Oh, no?
We must call her Miss Slats.
Miss Slats, because she's now a teacher. She's teaching her kindergarten class in Randolph, New Jersey right now at Fernbrook Elementary, and they are watching, or hope they are. Megan said she had FOMO today because she couldn't be here and be part of it. I'm sure she's decked out head to toe in green.
Well, you know, Roche and Megan grew up at our station, and also Alexandra Blanco, who's Sheila and Jesse Blanco's daughter.
Who's making movies now?
Who's making movies in New York City. Can you believe? And Lindy, you've known these young people since they were babies, and now they're adults.
It's been a fascinating thing. It changed my life. All those kids and my grandkids all coming along about the same time.
And that's what you're seeing. So much of this parade is about the kids getting that first chance to walk, or the first chance to truly be part as a member of the Klan. Look at these, or maybe not walk, maybe just ride.
Maybe ride.
That's
with their
not a
dog,
bad way to go. Could we do that if we're riding?
I
like
wish
that.
we could.
So, but you see, I mean, look at the massive amounts of this Klan, of the number of families that are here, and how important this is to get as many generations in, too.
And we always say that it's a sea of green. I mean, that's all you see. It's green if you look around downtown Savannah. The streets here in Lafayette Square, I mean, it's elbow to elbow in this square.
We'll see what Patty Turner's got there. She's down on the street to talk to somebody else that's important to this parade.
Okay, y'all. It is a live parade, so bear with us, okay? I'm here with Jill Jout. She is with Clearwave Fiber, one of our wonderful sponsors here for our parade coverage today. Jill, it's great to have you back. Thank you for helping us with the parade again. What is it like for you to be part of this parade?
I've been part of this parade for so many years, but I'm especially proud to be part of it today with Clearwave Fiber. Our company is all about connecting people and bringing internet to everyone here in Savannah and the surrounding areas. And so is the parade. The parade is all about making connections, seeing people you know and love, and making new friends too.
Well, tell our viewers about Clearwave Fiber, and how long you've been in the area and what you're offering.
Well, we have high-speed 100% fiber internet, and we have commercial and residential, and we're all over the area, here and there, and it's fast and reliable and affordable, and we're just connecting everyone to the world.
We're glad you're here to be part of this wonderful connection here in Savannah today at this incredible event.
Too, and thank you for everything that WSAV does in the community. You guys are great community partners and sponsoring so many nonprofits, and that's a cause that's near and dear to our heart as well, and we're happy to partner with you.
And happy St. Patrick's Day, Jill.
Thank you. Top of the morning to everybody.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more parade coverage in just a moment.
Watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV. Sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and Clearwave Fiber.
Back to WSAV's 2025 parade coverage of Savannah's 201st. Can
Amazing.
you believe it? St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And we want to see your photos out there. Email us at pics@wsav.com. Of course, Facebook, X, Instagram as well. Hashtag WSAV St. Pat's. We want to see your celebration out there as we're celebrating with you on TV and online.
We are everywhere, and so are these people. I mean, this crowd is enormous. It's amazing to see so many people come back to town or come to Savannah for the very first time. I've met a couple of people already who said this is their first time here. They're loving it.
I've always imagined somebody driving over the Talmadge Bridge into this on a day like today, you know, a Monday, cruising into Savannah on St. Patrick's Day with no advanced knowledge.
No.
What would it be like to find this party at the end of the ridge?
Well, plus the past Grand Marshals being involved in this too, Lindy. I mean, the specialness for them too is to be able to walk in this or ride in this and show that support even after they've done their major duty for the.
They got Mike Ryan there. I can't see like I used to, so it's hard for me to know.
Yeah, we see some people from the Wexford delegation right now, but Patty Turner is also out on the street. Patty, who do you have right now?
Oh my gosh, I have the delegation from Wexford, Ireland with us. I have the Mayor Biddy, right?
That's me. I'm the mayor of Wexford Town, and these are the Wexford colours, purple and gold. And everybody along the route who knows Wexford knows these colours. It's been fantastic. Normally on a day like today, I'm in the rain and the cold on the quay in Wexford. But my goodness, if the people at home could see what Savannah does, it is incredible. It's such a privilege to be here.
We're so happy that you're here. Tell us who you have with you today.
Okay, so this is Liz Hoare, and Liz is the Director of Services in the County Council in Wexford, and Liz has organised this whole trip. And this man here is Colin Brown, and Colin is really all things. He is the leader of Microsoft in sales, and it's just been such a privilege to be here with all the delegation. We've a massive delegation from Wexford, and it's taken my breath away.
Oh, well, we're so happy you can be here and be part of the parade. And how would you like to say Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of our fans and viewers?
I'll tell you how. Somebody along the route gave me a little dram of Jameson and whiskey, and I'd just like to say sláinte to everybody at home and everybody Happy St. Patrick's Day.
From Ireland, from Wexford.
Oh my goodness, it's never too early to start celebrating on St. Patrick's Day.
And for all of you who complained about the weather, she already said it'd be raining and cold in Ireland, so she's more than happy to be here, so everybody should enjoy this.
Yeah, and let's talk about the relationship that our area has with Wexford County, because, you know, Georgia Southern University has a campus there in Wexford County, and we'll be talking to Dr. Howard Keeley a little bit more about that, but the bond between these two areas, it's strong. And we even have the Wexford pub that we talked about last year that was going to open at that point is now open here in Savannah.
Very neat. Attracting attention from the world, too. It's a wonderful place to go.
We got to love to see that. They're going to be in the parade this year, too. They want to be part of all this. We see some of the many marching bands we have coming up.
Let's take a listen. The Rockledge High School Raider Regiment?
It could have. They said 24 people were marching in that. They only have 1,500 students, but they do have some that were all state and all county for them from Rockledge, Florida out there. They say their colors are Columbia blue and silver. They wanted everyone to know. So
very nice.
The Hibernian Society, I believe, is pulling up as well.
In style.
As always.
Past Grand Marshal Rossiter there, Dr. Francis Rossiter.
Right. Perhaps they'll break into the Rossiter song for us.
There's a Rossiter song?
Oh, there is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, there is.
Now, Old Fort Irish that have been in Savannah since 1850, Irish roots in County Wexford, Ireland. Father Francis P. Rossiter Sr. was the Grand Marshal way back in 1972. He says he's been in this parade forever.
Which may be close to truth when you look at some of these families, the way they come up on that one. So
And now we're taking a look at the Hibernian Society of Savannah.
You know, you go back 20, 25 years and you look at a parade and you'll see these same guys walking.
Yes.
Because it's their dads or their granddads. Just year after year, we watch these families evolve and grow. I think it's a fascinating thing for each of these fans to know who's the oldest one and who's the youngest one each year.
Yeah.
Well, the Hibernian Society claims they started the parade, so they claim they're the oldest of all of them out there. Founded in 1812 to offer aid and assistance to needy Irish immigrants. They claim that the parade was their idea.
Yeah, Brendan Sheehan is the current president. They're about 40 strong in today's parade.
The outfits are amazing. How does one put together their outfit when they start? You think months in advance, weeks in advance, or because they're not just pulling this out of their closet? That's for sure.
The St. Patrick's Day before, right?
Hey, you know, this is a progression here. You know, I started with the cover overalls and would bleach them all the way out, and then dye them green as your coat. But finally, that seemed to be well. For one thing, it wore them out real quick. But for another, it seemed to be an extra step. You know, the green on the white works out really well.
Does.
And I've settled in for this now. This
You
is
are
my
a fashion
outfit.
icon, we've always said about you in Savannah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you never know what Lindy was going to wear on air or off, so it's always good to see you dressed up.
And I got real shoes on today, too. That's pretty unusual.
That is
That may be
indeed,
the
right?
most unusual thing.
Now we're coming up on one of the many floats that we will see in today's St. Patrick's Day parade.
My guess is this is Memorial Health right there, celebrating their 70th anniversary.
Yeah, and they've been in this parade 10 plus years. They're representing the Dwayne and Cynthia Willett Children's Hospital of Savannah.
Does amazing work over there across the board, trying to protect our kids, keep them safe, keep them healthy, and in some difficult situations. I always appreciate all the work that the doctors and nurses do over there.
Yes.
When Tina Tyus saved my life, it was Memorial Health that followed through and actually did the surgery.
Listen, that was a scary moment for all of us. What, back in 2000?
2001? Two, maybe?
Okay.
Something like that.
We're glad you're still here today. So
Oh, me too.
I'm not giving you mouth-to-mouth this time, though. Sorry, Lindy. That's somebody else's job. I like you, but not that much. Lindy, talk a little bit about the businesses, too, like Memorial Health or someone, and how much they enjoy being part of all this.
Well, you know, it's a big deal on a lot of levels. I mean, you look at the folks who are on these floats. A lot of these folks have been here before. It's a part of their lives, too. It's a part of the tradition, even for these commercial sponsors, because it's just a fun thing to do. I don't know. You've probably never been involved on riding the float with WSAV, have you?
No.
Yeah, because you've been
Listen,
here on
we've
the
been on the desk.
Right.
I've been asking. Maybe one year that will happen. Maybe one year we'll get a chance to ride on the float. But right now we're going to go down to the streets with Patty Turner. Patty, who do you have?
Hey guys, it is so much fun out here. I am having the best time. And we have another one of our great sponsors here to join us, Harry Schaefer with RJ Young. Harry, thank you for being here today. What do you think of this parade?
Wow, this parade is absolutely amazing. It really shows the amazing culture that Savannah has to offer. I mean, there's no better opportunity than this to check out the city of Savannah.
Okay, it's Margaritaville time apparently, I guess. Everything goes here. So you guys opened your doors here in Savannah in January of this year, but your company's been around a lot longer.
That's correct. We were founded in 1955 in Nashville, Tennessee. Savannah makes our 29th office. We're incredibly excited to be in the city and incredibly excited to have more partners.
We're so glad that you're a part of the parade with us this year, and we hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you so much. You know I will. I'm going to enjoy myself today. Everybody has been so friendly, and we're looking forward to making some more friends.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see more of you, I'm sure.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. If you need any help with printers and copiers, phone systems, security cameras, managed IT, we're your local partners that can help.
All right, Harry. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you so much.
Making friends is not a problem out here.
No, not at all. Everyone's friendly today, and everyone's Irish today as well. You know, I think right behind Memorial Health, we saw a number of the parade grand marshals, the past parade grand marshal. Tim Ansley's here with his family. Hugh E. Coleman is here with his family. Mike Foreign, the Foreign family, they're all here. They're all past parade grand marshals. While we're at a lull, I'll say right now, we'll take a break and we'll be back with more of our coverage right after this.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and R.J. Young, Office Technology Solutions of Savannah.
Beautiful day here in Lafayette Square, and the music is starting to get. The hardest part for Kim is sitting here not doing the parade, but it's not dancing while the music is playing.
No, but this is the Battery Creek High School Dolphin Pride Marching Band out of your neck of the woods, Andrew, Beaufort, South Carolina. They've been taking part in this parade for about 3 years now. They've won a lot of awards. Their drum instructor, they have two. They have Rod Williams and Willie Walker. Let's take a listen.
So this band also took part in the 2023 Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Wow.
I'm always impressed with the skills that they have to be able to march and play and stay on time as well as they do.
And stay on beat.
Exactly.
I mean, this is choreography at its best, right?
We love when they stop and play a little extra for us, too, right here for WSAV.
We do.
I never had a chance. I played the saxophone for about 5 minutes. So then decided I should be doing something else.
So you weren't a part of a marching band?
No, I was never part of the marching band. No, I decided against that. I decided perhaps my skills would be served someplace else. Or my parents did and said, you don't need to play this anymore because we don't need to hear it anymore.
Well, see, now your mouth is an instrument, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I've been told. So
I've marched in many parades as a cheerleader for my old high school, Herschel P. Jenkins High School. So we've done this, and it's no easy task. I mean, to walk for miles with a smile on your face and entertain the crowd.
That's what I was thinking, is keeping the smile on your face for the entire route, because somebody will say, you didn't smile when I was there.
Yeah. But, you know, it's so easy to smile during a parade like this.
Absolutely. Jameson Irish whiskey, I think there might be a few shots of that going around today.
Just a few.
Maiden County
I think
pork.
I walked by a bottle on the street a little while ago.
It's made in County Cork, Ireland, served in 130 countries. In 2019, it passed 8 million cases sold. 8 million.
And this group is actually, it says from Dublin, Ireland here on their float.
They serve, apparently they have 6 or 8 spots in Ireland. I was reading up about Jameson without taking shots of it, thankfully, but reading up about it, and they have 6 spots that they actually do it, but then they go to 130 countries outside of that. Best-selling Irish whiskey in the world.
Wow.
That goes well with Folgers.
Does it?
Real well. Folgers Black Silk. It's a great way to, well, I shouldn't say this.
Don't say this. Don't say
it.
So, you know, we've seen a number of our past parade grand marshals in this parade. We haven't had a chance to acknowledge some of them, like Dennis Cunahan, who was parade grand marshal back in 2017. I believe right after the Jameson whiskey float, parade grand marshal Jerry Patrick Cunahan, he was parade grand marshal back in 2019. And right now we're taking a look at the folks from Chicago Fire and Police Department pipes and drums.
They apparently brought a small army with them to follow them around.
They were founded to honor the memories of people who have given the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. They participated in the Irish Parade of Chicago, Founders Day Parade in Quebec, 80th anniversary of D-Day Parade, and the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So is this their first time here?
It seems so. I have not seen them any time. No, they've never been here before. I can't believe. Well, they've got that big parade on Saturday. Not as big as ours, not as good as ours, of course, but they do apparently a little something in Chicago on Saturday.
Yeah, just something on the little parade.
It's a pretty big deal. You know, it's way different, though. I was watching this year, and I wonder how long it'll be before we're like this. There's barricades everywhere. You know, you can't get out onto the street of the Chicago parade.
Got the Sinn Féin Society as well, founded in 1965 here in Savannah. 50 people part of that all, including a giant head. So someone just popped up there. Guess somebody couldn't make it, so they wanted to make sure their head was here.
They're here in spirit.
The green grits, of course, they're known for burning them properly, right, Lindy? Talk about the green grits a little bit.
The important lesson to learn about green grits is that green grits and green beer are a choice. You can't do both. Pick one.
Big fun. You can't do both, right?
You got to pick one.
You should never do both.
No.
Never. Green grits, green beer, green, coffee, green. Everything's green today, though, right? Everything is green. Even the babies.
Just make sure you don't pull it out of your refrigerator and it's green there. That could be a different thing entirely. So.
Well, this is my favorite part. Looking at the little ones who will someday be the big ones walking in this very same parade.
And the pictures that you get of those people who started when they were babies in the stroller, and now they're walking or they're in the parade committee, something of that sort.
Yeah, you were one of those kids, right?
Yeah, well, I was at the parade. I was not a part of the parade, but I got a picture of 1953 in the what do you call those things you roll kids
around? The little stroller?
Yeah, stroller. Right at Hall Street, actually. That's when the parade started, at Hall, at the other side of the park.
And now we see the Police Emerald Society.
Patty will be down there in the middle of the Emerald Society, our own shining emerald herself, Patty Turner.
Hey, guys. Okay, so much fun here. So many people are walking up to say hello. Tell us who you are.
I'm a work training officer of Mountjoy Prison in Dublin. John Redmond's my name. And we just want to thank you all for having us here, because we are having an absolute ball of a time. We love this place.
How would you compare this to Ireland?
This is way better. You guys know how to do parades. We're only learning from you guys how to do parades. It's absolutely awesome.
You guys have a wonderful time
I
here.
will indeed.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Your shorts are more shamrock. There's some more shamrock.
Thank you for my shamrock.
Have a great day.
Thank
Have a great
you.
St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, and we have to thank our sponsors once again. We have our title sponsors here from Zeros. We have Cliff White, Rob Cooch, and your social influencers.
Yeah, come on in, guys.
Okay, so who are these guys?
Cowboy, talk to him, baby.
My name is Creesh. Yes, ma'am.
We got Cowboy Creesh, we got Caden.
My name's Kate McGuire.
Hi, Caden. All right, thank you for being a part of the parade. It's about to get a little loud, Cliff, so we're going to have to talk over this. But tell our viewers again why you feel like it's important to be part of this parade.
Well, first of all, Savannah is the best. It's the best St. Patrick's Parade you can have, right? Yeah. It's our hometown. It's our local community, so it's fun to be part of this. And if you look at the atmosphere, beautiful day, beautiful weather. It's just a great event to be at. So,
okay, we're going to scoot on over as the band comes by.
And Patty, we're going to let the band play. These are the Red Devil Marching Band, the Red Devil Regiment Marching Band of Central High School from Phoenix City, Alabama.
That's right up there near Auburn, if you're wondering where Phoenix City is.
I was wondering. Thank you.
I used to work down in the general area, so I know my way through. They had a very good football team for a long time. They got a great band, too.
And the large band at that.
They say 127 people here with us. That's a long ride.
And they are having the time of their lives. You know, I've noticed that they're not wearing green. Should we pinch them?
You've got a lot of pinching to do at 127 people, Kim. That'll take you a while.
I don't think they'd like that. They may not know about this tradition, right?
We'll see you about 1:30 if you have to pinch all of them and get back. So, but I love that they come out all the way from Alabama to respect our traditions, but also have a great time because you know they get to spend the weekend and usually enjoy so much about the hostess city because we are truly the hostess city that way that we get to show off to everybody, Lindy.
It's true. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to visit with all these folks.
And I believe, is that one member of the Hogan family that we just saw?
Hogan's Heroes.
And now the Hibernian Society. I think we're kind of out of order here because we mentioned them earlier, but they have a big old group here in the parade.
1972, they were formed. 34 charter members from the Old Fort, Troop Square areas of downtown. Now they've got 100 people involved.
Wow. There they are carrying the banner, the young ones there. And the folks waving at the crowd.
Look at the little one.
The little baby. Oh, he's asleep.
Hey, everybody, they're sleeping, so we're going to go to commercial right now while the baby sleeps, not to wake them up. So we'll be right back with a lot more coverage of the parade.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV. Sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages.
right, Jeopardy fans, the category is St. Patrick's Day. To many, this is the best St. Patrick's Day city in the nation. Correct response, what is Savannah? Happy St. Patrick's Day from all of us at Jeopardy.
Yeah, I scoffed because who didn't know that? Of course we are.
Jeopardy and Wheel every night. We like to see them supporting us here, too. And we may have a little bit of something Jeopardy-related coming up in just a few minutes. Ben Katko's been working very hard on that.
Yeah, we have gifts to give away as well. And I believe, Andrew Davis, that Ben Katko is ready right now for our first round of St. Patrick's Day Jeopardy. Ben, who do you have?
Yes, I am indeed ready. And yes, Andrew, I have been working very hard on this. The questions were handed to me and the prizes were prepared for me. However, we're still having a good time out here. Sounds like you guys are too. We've got this wonderful group of people here. They're going to team up on the first question. So I'm going to just pick somebody. Tell me who you are, where you guys come from.
We're from Savannah, Georgia.
Okay. I assume you know how Jeopardy works, especially if we're going to do it as a team. Every night. Okay, me too. I'll give you the category. I need the answer in the form of a question. Are we good? Okay, the category is Savannah celebrations. Savannah begins a week of St. Patrick's festivities with the greening of this architectural water feature at Forsyth Park.
The fountain. Oh, what is the fountain?
Bingo, we got a winner. It's that easy. You all win. Congratulations. We're 1 for 1. We have some goodies for you guys so you can kind of get a little more in the spirit. There's candy, all kinds of trinkets in there. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. We have 5 more of these to give away during the course of the parade today. I think they're all a little more challenging than this, but we wanted to start out easy. We want to make some winners here. Back to you guys.
All right. Listen, don't forget to watch Jeopardy tonight at 7:30 on WSAV. You know, they started out with some folks from Savannah, so of course they had to know that question, right? They had to know that.
They better answer that one correctly.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Can we put some HVJ in it? Is this my school? Is this my school?
All of us bow down. I'm not sure. They are early in this parade.
I'm trying to see. No, I don't think that's my school.
No.
That is not my school.
We got a little too excited there.
False
it's okay.
alarm,
false alarm,
but
everybody.
Listen, those drum majors are doing their thing.
Motor mouth. M-O-H.
Wait a minute. That is my school.
That is Jenkins.
Yes,
You're right.
I'm taking a look at the jacket. My Herschel v. Jenkins Warriors. Let's take a moment to take a listen.
I love the nicknames for the drum majors on the back of their uniforms, too, Kim. It was hard. They're not in full red attire like they normally are.
Well, they have the green sprinkled in there. They threw me off with the jacket, but I knew that sound, right? There was something about that sound. Drum majors Caleb Caesar and Richard Griffin, they've been participating in this parade for many, many years. They've also done the Veterans Day Parade, MLK Junior Parade, Orange Bowl Parade. So let's take another moment, okay? Because they're marching 80 strong today. We see the flag girls, we see the drums, we see the majorettes. Let's take a listen. They're the cheerleaders.
Kim, do you have a memory from your St. Patrick's Day parades when you marched that stands out to you, or something that you remember specifically?
I mean, just the people. I mean, so many people. Of course, not this many people. I don't remember it ever being this crowded, but just seeing a smiling face at every corner and being so exhausted by the time the parade ended. And then having to go to school the next day like these young ladies will have to do, right?
That's the hardest part. We forget on a Monday that Tuesday starts bright and early.
You have to go. to go back to school.
Have you visited the new school? Have you been through this new school?
I have, and it is amazing. It's a beautiful school, and they even have a wall that they built with the bricks from the old school that alumni could have their names put on, could purchase and buy, and they created this wall of the alumni from Jenkins High School.
That's fantastic out there. Clan Na Éireann right now, celebrating Irish heritage in connection to Savannah since 1979. Group gathers for breakfast at the Oglethorpe Club before the parade. The sheriff collects fines for member gaffes and actions over the past year that deserve ridicule on this. I can only imagine how much money changes hands during that breakfast.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look at the little man.
Oh, he's going to walk today.
Oh, yeah. You said you rode with the Buttimer family before, too, did you not?
Yes. We rode in their wagon, you know. It was a nice ride.
They were supposedly right in this area. I thought that might have been them right there. That's still maybe Clan Na Éireann, though.
There's so many families here together. But speaking of the Buttimer family,
all these redhead kids.
I know. Patrick Buttimer Sr. was the Grand Marshal way back in 1949, and then many generations have followed. Their family float has been in this parade since 1994. They still have 4 generations still living. The oldest, Tony Buttimer, at the age of 91 and a half years young. Wow. And the youngest, Sophia Lee Buttimer, only a few days old.
Oh. She's not going to walk this one, I don't believe.
No.
That's my best guess.
Not yet. She has plenty of time for that.
A lot of time. But how about a great picture of that, and then when you think 20 or 30 years down the line when she's walking, having to remember those? Here's Hope.
Now, this is a familiar group as well. Hogan's Heroes. They've been in this parade for many, many, many years. They are celebrating Irish heritage.
The Hogan family, my doctor.
Oh, really?
And the Marina for many years, but the Marina's moved on to a national company now.
They say that they're with the Moss family, the Murray family, the Shores family, and the Guterman families as well.
Got a quick look from our drone over there to see the giant crowds that we have. Amazing crowds, and somewhere in the middle of that crowd is our own Patty Turner.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Kim. Yep, I am walking with the Hogan family, one of the many clans here, and this is Isabella.
Hi, yes, it's nice to meet you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Who's this precious little girl with you?
This is a relative, a little cousin, if you will. We're just here to represent the Hogan family.
What's it like being part of this parade with your family?
Honestly, it's such an honor and just really exciting to be able to represent my family well. It's one of our favorite days of the year, so we're just happy to be here.
All right, well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you guys.
Thank you.
Everybody's a cousin. She's got her own idea. They're going to keep moving someplace else. So.
You know what? It's a good time to take a break right now, and we'll be back with more of our coverage of the 201st St. Patrick's Day Parade in Savannah.
And thank you to Lindy Brannon for being with us all hour. We're going to say goodbye to Lindy.
I think during the break you're going to have to leave. We're going to switch off, but it's always a pleasure to have you here.
You know I love it. Thank you, dear.
Hey,
maybe you can find some Jameson, a drum somewhere.
It's possible. You know, we're only about 100 yards from Pinky Masters, actually, so y'all have a wonderful day and enjoy the parade.
Thank you, Lindy, for being part.
Thank you so much.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and Horn Law Firm.
Hello, I'm Kyle Marrero, president of Georgia Southern University. I'm here at the Center for Wildlife on our Statesboro campus. We got ducks, we got raptors, we got a boa constrictor, and we have birds of prey. Speaking of birds of prey, we have our mascot, Freedom, who will be here with us at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Please join us, and happy St. Patrick's Day on behalf of Georgia Southern University.
Georgia Southern University, love to see them part of this. As part of all this, we've switched out a little bit here. So Dr. Howard Keeley, important part of all this, to see Georgia Southern, the shout out for us. Thank you so much. So this history for you to be here and to be part of this, how many years have you been part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade?
About 15, 16, yeah. So I started as a kind of stranger, and now I feel like I'm in the middle of it all. So it's, and look, today is the day, right? I mean, the weather, it's like laid on from central casting, I feel like, for today. But yes, Georgia Southern has been a long time participant in the parade. We are all about it, and our commitment to Savannah just grows and grows and grows. We have now, of course, a campus here. That wonderful merger of Armstrong and Georgia Southern Statesboro, and strengthens us all so much. So just a thrill. Georgia Southern always is trying to outdo its float from last year. And
what do you think? Did they do it this year?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think that people who come to the parade, what they want to see is our mascot,
of course, Freedom
the eagle, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a prime photograph to get and make memories from. So yeah. So
well, the only thing prettier than the eagle may be Patty Turner down on the street. So we're going to toss it out to her for a second.
Absolutely. Shout out to Patty.
Oh, well, she's too busy. If there's anything, she's playing with the Ghost Pirates now.
Yes,
hopefully no one is going to check her into the boards. Of course, the Savannah Ghost Pirates, incredibly popular in Savannah as a hockey team out here as we celebrate all this. But you've 15 years, I mean, you've seen the growth of Georgia Southern. You've seen the growth into Savannah, too. That importance of the partnership of bringing Georgia Southern to Savannah.
Absolutely, and it just makes so much sense for Georgia Southern to have this incredibly fast-growing, dynamic city, and all the changes that we're seeing as the port continues to grow. Hyundai is now one of our neighbors, and we're welcoming people in from South Korea. The university is part of the talent chain, right? We are helping companies to expand. We are training people in supply chain and logistics. We are training people in manufacturing and engineering. So we are fully committed to Savannah. I like to say we are a university without walls. So our job is to be in the community and for the community to tell us what it needs, right?
Well,
so if we are getting the message from Savannah, we have need here, we have need there, then Georgia Southern, we step up.
Well, we need now to go to Patty Turner, who's been waiting for us down there. We'll see what she's got to offer on the parade route.
As I have some pirates with me, ghost pirates to be exact. What do you guys want to say to everybody?
Well, let's go, Ghost Pirates! Let's go! We'll see you the next day! Happy St. Patrick's Day! Hockey team representing on St. Patrick's Day. We've got 4 games left. We need Savannah to turn out, show up for those last 4 games, because we're making that final push to the playoffs.
What do you think of all your fans here in Savannah?
Oh, Savannah has the best fans in all of sports. They're here for the fun. Davey showed up.
It's Davey!
We've got our one and only Ghost Pirates mascot right here. The Ghost Pirate himself, Davey. What's up, Davey?
All right, happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. And how many more games do you have left?
Davey. We got 4 more games left. Come on down. We got Margaritaville week this week. Come on down to N Market Arena.
Oh, always good. The Ghost Pirates are a great time out there at the arena. If you haven't been to a game, you want to go see Davey, their mascot, as well. So not quite as good as Freedom, I know. But we have to respect all of it, Doctor.
Well, we're a mini mascot town here. And I can tell you one thing. My colleagues who come to Georgia Southern from Canada, from the northern states, the Bostons and so forth, they are thrilled that we have ice hockey here. So it makes them feel more at home.
Well, we have so many transplants that it's important, and hockey is an important part of all these cultures out here.
So we're living into our name of the hostess city.
Exactly. So here's the Shenanigan Society while we're here. The High Leprechaun himself, Mike Bolton, on this. They won the Messenger Daniel Bork Awards in 2000 and 2009. They're an Irish organization, been partnering since 1981, and promotes traditional Irish heritage with traditional and charitable beliefs. And we've got the High Leprechaun himself down there with Patty Turner.
Hey, you asked for it, and we've got the High Leprechaun right here. What's your real name, sir?
My name's Mike Bolton.
Bolton. What's it like to be the High Leprechaun of the Shenanigans Society?
It is like a lifelong dream to be the High Leprechaun of the Shenanigans Society, something I've been wanting for decades.
So what do you get to do as the High Leprechaun?
They just boss you around.
He gets to fine people for their bad actions. Yes, but our float back here was the only one that has a bathroom on it. We're dedicated to my wife's father, Pete Cooley, who lived to 96 years old. We've got Pete's bar in there, and if you need, you can use the bathroom too.
Thank you so much.
We don't have a bar, just for the record.
The High Leprechaun has to keep us straight, right? Okay.
That's right. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody in Savannah. What a beautiful day, 201st Parade.
Thank you.
Incredible honor to be the High Leprechaun, I have to assume, at a St. Patrick's Day parade.
Absolutely. You know, this is one of about 13 fraternal organizations here in Savannah, and we always think of the Shenanigans as the most serious, right? So, yes. Yeah.
I love the clans, though, too, to see all of them come together and what that means for that family, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of these going back 200 years, really, it's when you stop and think about it, that's, to me, astounding, you know, and we have this thing in Savannah where the last major group of Irish came in the late 1850s, so we're looking at, you know, well over a century since we had new Irish people coming in here, and yet that identity is so strong, and it's families that move it forward.
Some of the new Irish out here, the dancers, we've got the Legacy Irish Dance Academy, been part of Savannah for 27 years with regional, national, world champion dancers. That little one right there, she's gonna, yeah, there you go. She's got it. Well, she moved out of the camera. She wants to dance so far. She's dancing. We got to teach her how to be camera ready, but she did a great dance just the same.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, that's the future, right? And that's one of the main things about the Irish tradition in Savannah. It's a family affair, right? So it's from the cradle to the grave, and people learning about that tradition, getting included on all sorts of levels, school, dance, you name it, that parish structure, that family connection, that I not forget, you know, remember where you came from, never forget it.
Well, you get 3 and 4 generations out here, too. I mean, I was thinking 4, but you do get great-grandparents out here with those great-grandchildren. It's amazing to see them walk together.
Absolutely, and how a family will have its little particular staging ground on this square or that square, and just the depth of tradition, right? And everything stops so that we can start St. Patrick's Day.
Well, we're going to stop for a second to go ahead and toss it down back to Patty right on the parade route.
Sounds good. Busy woman.
Janice Sowers here with the Daughters of Ireland. How do you feel on this St. Patrick's Day?
Exciting. This is a beautiful day. I just wish the wind would just pipe down a little bit, but it's a beautiful day here in Savannah, enjoying all the crowd and the screaming, the yelling, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Tell everybody about the Daughters of Ireland and just how special this organization is.
So wonderful. Lovely ladies that we all celebrate our Irish heritage, and we keep all the traditions going, like the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We have the Grand Marshal's wife's reception every year to honor the wife of the Grand Marshal's wife. Yay. We got to go.
We're going to keep the parade moving along, so have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
She's trying to keep everything moving while there. She can't stop everybody for long because they're going to get on her, but you got the Farrell family right there talking about those family and friends. They've been around since 1975. Pat Farrell, of course, in his 21st year as Chatham County Commissioner, remembers his father taking him to the parade as a young boy. Never forget those memories. That's what we talked about. Absolutely. Those memories of coming as a young man with your father, with your grandfather, and being part of it all.
And of course, when we think about the current Grand Marshal, Jay Burke, you know, he's been in every position related to the parade, but his greatest boast, his greatest point of pride is that his father was the Grand Marshal, and that is just a extraordinary continuity, generation to generation to generation, and it's so meaningful. I've been talking to some of my students at Georgia Southern who are from Savannah Irish families, and they take such responsibility. You know, the young men, the young women, They sign up for sometimes the grunt work to make this parade happen, but you have to pay your dues, and then eventually you might become the general chair or the grand marshal. And I love, we just saw, Daughters of Ireland. Very important that we have the women of Savannah also deeply committed to the parade.
Well, I'm very committed to this cause right here. The Low Country Down Syndrome Society do an amazing job for some of the members of our community who need a little bit of extra out there.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely amazing to see. Men, women, children, you forget about how it continues on past school and how many things you can do to give them an incredible life, and I give all respect to that.
Having these groups in the parade that's really the parade in a nutshell, right? It's community coming together. So when we have charitable organizations, aid organizations represented, what are we doing here? The spirit of St. Patrick's Day in Savannah is community, and these guys are the tip of the spear every day of the year. Whether it's the 17th of March, the 17th of April, the 17th of December, they're here and they're making it happen because we believe in Savannah in community.
Absolutely. I believe in all of those things, and I believe that it's time for a break as well, Dr. Keeley. So we'll be right back with a lot more from the 2025 St. Patrick's Day Parade right here in Savannah, Georgia.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Ciro's Hard Beverages and Atlantic Waste Services.
Oh, so that's not. Well, remember, WSAV.com, St. Patrick's Day for your St. Patrick's Day headquarters. We get all the events that have come up to today, along with the parade online as we speak. Tell all your friends from out of this community, out of the state, out of the area, whatever it may be, and watch all our stories and our coverage over time on the St. Patrick's Day Parade right here on WSAV.com. And there's the Guinness float.
And we are streaming this parade live, so people all over the world have a chance to see what we do in our hometown of the hostess city, Savannah, Georgia, where we do it like no one else, 100%,
right? 100%. And the reason we went for break right there is because the Guinness float was going by, and so the three of us just took
a little something, while we're there. So
tipping them down at Guinness pretty fast.
I did a lot of deep Guinness research. I wanted to make sure that I was part of this tradition generally. Yes. So we talked about numbers before. By the way, 100 countries brewed in 40 different countries.
Wow.
10 million glasses every day. 10 million every day, 1.8 billion a year. And I didn't know this. Guinness is not black. It's deep ruby, they say. You can see it in the glass. Had no idea. Maybe because I see the bottom of the glass more than I see the actual glass itself.
Well, and also, 160,000 pints are estimated to be lost in facial hair every year. Just wanted you to know that.
Okay, well, maybe I should shave off this beard then. So.
We've got lots of trivia, lots of interesting tips. I bet you somebody else has got a couple questions for you.
I think that's Ben Katko. Ben Katko, good morning.
To me, they don't really know yet what the question's going to be, but this is so perfect how you guys led into this. So tell me who you guys are, where you come from.
My name's Harmony. I live in Savannah.
Fantastic.
My name's Zach. I live in Savannah.
Okay, great. Zach, Harmony, we're going to play a little Jeopardy here. I assume you guys know how it works. I'll give you a category. I'll read you the answer. You give me a question. You win a prize. Got it? All right, cool. The category is popular brews. This brewer moves up to 13 million pints of its creamy brown stout on St. Patrick's Day, almost 900% more than the average day.
What is Guinness?
Yes, it is. Guinness is indeed the answer, and you guys have won a prize pack from WSAV. Congratulations. We tried to keep it easy and fun. Guinness is a good answer today.
Can I give one shout out? Shout out WCMS, it's where we work, West Chatham Middle School.
Awesome. Awesome. West Chatham Middle, a huge hello and a happy St. Patrick's Day from a couple of your teachers here today. We hope you're all having fun and celebrating. And back to you guys at the desk, if you come across a Guinness in the next couple of minutes, I'm only like 25 feet away.
I think Professor Keeley and Andrew Davis may have had...
You don't know what happened when you were gone for those moments or two.
I was gone for a moment. But you know what? A big shout out to the Hamilton Turner House right across the street for accommodating us during this parade.
Absolutely.
Just a word of advice. If you have to go there, porta potties here on the streets, but don't wait until the last minute because the lines are long. Even in the Hamilton Turner House, the lines are very long. But back to the matter at hand. Don't forget to watch Jeopardy tonight at 7:30 right here on WSAV.
Patty's going to be watching. Patty, who you got with us?
And the chief of the Morristown Police Department.
Wharton Borough Police Department.
Sorry, Wharton Borough in New Jersey. And this is the first time you've been to our parade in Savannah.
Yes, first time we've been down as a police department, yes, first time. A lot of us, first time here.
Why did you decide to come to be part of the Savannah parade, and what do you think?
Well, we hear it's one of the best in the country. So we wanted to come down and experience it ourselves. We wanted to do a little bonding with the police department, and we have about half the department down enjoying the city and enjoying the parade.
All right. Can I join you guys? Because I'm kind of like...
Yes, you sure can.
Fit right in.
You fit right in.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, have a great time while you're
Appreciate
here.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's take a listen to those bagpipes. Just as I said, he stopped, right?
Well, you know, Kim, what we always say is that Savannah may have the second biggest St. Patrick's Day, but it's the best.
There you go. That's what we say, too.
Yeah, so we have all these folks from New Jersey. They're not in New Jersey today. They're down here enjoying our amazing sunshine and nice breeze, and so we're just perfect.
Yeah. Dr. Kelly, how did the bagpipes get into the Irish side from the Scottish side exactly? That's what I've always wondered, because you play the bagpipes, you're like, that's not our people.
That's right. So the Irish bagpipe is called the Uilleann pipe, and that means elbow pipe. Okay. But you have to be seated to do that. So you've got to put it on your knee. So if you're going to march, an elbow pipe is no good to you. So unless you're being pushed along in a chair, but no. So that's how the bagpipe came in. It was just that tradition of Irish military, Irish police, Irish fire precincts in the United States. They wanted to play Irish music, but the Irish bagpipe or Uilleann pipe just doesn't work for that.
Well, so you better start talking soon here, because we've got Georgia Southern University front and center for us right now.
All right.
I didn't want to stop you, but we got to make sure we get the proper people on this.
Absolutely. We have to pause for Georgia Southern University. It's my alma mater. It's where Dr. Keeley has been for, 21 years now?
21 years, absolutely, yes. Yes, so, yes, I'll get fired if I don't say big shout-outs. Big shout-outs.
So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing with Georgia Southern and the county of Wexford.
Absolutely. So proud to talk about that. So we have a lot of our friends from Wexford here, and we have a campus in the town of Wexford, Ireland, and that honors the fact that the largest single county representation historically in Savannah is from Wexford. So if we're looking at prime time for people coming from Ireland to Savannah, Georgia, that was something like 56% of the Irish are coming in the 1840s and 50s came from Southeast Ireland, from Wexford.
And you had a chance late last year to take some folks from Georgia Southern to that campus in Wexford.
We did. We brought some of our alumni and friends there, and we had about 130 students from Georgia Southern in Wexford in the spring and the summer. So we had a record enrollment in Wexford, and it's life-changing.
That's
absolutely
amazing.
Life-changing. And those students who go, they're still together as a cohort. They go out to supper together. They have a whole kind of club life going together, and it's just wonderful. But yeah, we're so happy. You know, Georgia Southern is the first state university in the United States to have a physical campus in Ireland.
Wow.
That's something that
That's pretty
I think
incredible.
Savannah, Georgia can be very proud of.
Absolutely.
We are really leading the way, and we are showing that you don't have to be a private school to give your students those international experiences. And it's thanks to lots of donations from alumni, from friends. So fantastic.
And you know, right now we're taking a look at Benedictine Military School, and they are about 385 strong in today's parade. You see these cadets, and we call this the Kiss Cam because if
There
you
they
notice,
go.
here it is. The young ladies put on bright red lipstick, and they're at it.
Who has more fun with that, the girls or the guys who get kissed?
Don't know.
Because they prep so long. I remember that. The girls, Rashay and Megan, back in the day were there, and they'd put on so much lipstick to make sure it would get there.
And how did they not think they were going to get busted? They were not going to get busted that day. You know, they're on live TV kissing the boys. And I think it was you who told me, there's Rashay with her lipstick out, and she's kissing the boys as well.
Well, the boys are pretending like they're too cool, but we know what's really going on.
Oh, they're not that. You can see right there.
Not cracking a smile.
Those are badges of honor right there, as those
Absolutely.
lipstick on you to see. If you can't get one, then I'm sorry for you. But everybody, I believe every cadet gets at least one set of lips on it.
And you know, for a while they tried to stop it. I don't think that's possible.
No, that's a loosey proposition. Kim, you were just talking about Wexford. We just missed the Wexford pub go by, but that's also a fantastic story, right? Our new super Irish pub in Savannah, and I don't know if you've been down there yet, but I would encourage everybody to go down there.
Well, it's so funny because last year we were talking about it getting ready to open and the things they were doing ahead of time and the research that went into it. And now it's open and it's winning awards
It won
already.
a huge award, so really a point of pride for our city of Savannah.
Well, I'm really trying to draw in that Irish contingent to the idea of what it means and where it came from.
Absolutely. I think Jennifer Strickland, one of the owners, put it best. She said we wanted to do not an Irish pub, but a Savannah Irish pub. So
They've done a wonderful job, too. The food was excellent. I went there a couple weeks ago. So.
Food is excellent.
Aside from the food, just the atmosphere. Tell us about what you can see once you walk into the
Absolutely.
restaurant.
Well, as you know, it's huge. It's 2 floors. The lower floor is really dedicated to a history lesson. You know, you look around the walls and you can see from Wexford, the emigration, the boats, 40 days to Savannah, Georgia, and then how those folks integrated into the Savannah community here and contributed so much. Yes. And, wonderful. We're just on cue.
It's like we knew this or something.
Absolutely. And then the upstairs is dedicated to the arts, Irish literature, music, dance, plays. It's a really vibrant place. There's Bono saying Happy St. Patrick's Day to Savannah. And there is that amazing food.
Bono hasn't been here yet, though. I'm a little disappointed that Bono hasn't taken time to come visit.
Well, maybe he's come incognito. Who knows, right?
Could be.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And here's a little trivia for you. My first roommate at Georgia Southern, back then college, not university, she was from Ireland. And that's how I know Bono, because she had a big poster on her wall.
Well, I'm old enough to remember seeing U2 before it was U2. You know what I'm saying? They used to perform in a place in Dublin called the Dandelion Market. It was a bit of a dump, but there was U2 on the stage, so that's a little claim to fame on my part.
So were the girls kissing them like these girls are kissing these cadets?
You know what? I think there was a little bit of that going on. Yeah.
I love the collection now of the girls who are waiting for the next set to come forward. They may not be willing to go forward. They want to get that next set of guys right there.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing is to get it while it's moving, right? You know, it's a moving target. That's
That's the best kiss.
But they rush. Who's the next?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see girlfriends, you see moms, you see random
Absolutely.
young ladies.
Absolutely.
Just random.
Benedictine, such a proud Irish story in Savannah, and obviously the Savannah people call it BC, right?
Yes.
Benedictine College. And again, we were talking earlier, Andrew, about that generation to generation continuity. And, you know, I know people who came back to Savannah when they had a son or a daughter. They might have been living in Atlanta or, you know, Charlotte or somewhere. And then they come back so their kids could go to St. Vincent's or BC.
BC. They've been marching in this parade since 1902. Now it's a good time, though, for us to take a break, and maybe these cadets can take a break.
They can reload on lipstick for the next round. So
we'll be right back.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and Hogs Golf Carts and ATV.
Welcome back to WSAV's coverage of the 201st St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Savannah. We were just talking about the Stricklands, Jennifer and Tim Strickland. Well, they also have a connection to River Street Sweets because this is their family's company.
Absolutely. The candy business is sweet. I love that
yes.
Phrase that they use. And what great community boosters, right? These are people who are from Savannah, and they have committed their whole business lives to our city and made us proud. So, yeah. In fact, I'll just share that they and their business partner have sponsored an Irish library at Georgia Southern, which we just opened on Friday. That's on the main campus in Statesboro. We have about 20,000 students going through that space, and it's an immersive experience of our Wexford campus. So just to sort of honor the Wexford pub and that whole deep story. So we're at Georgia Southern, we're super grateful to them for helping us build that next generation.
Absolutely.
That's not just Irish kids, that's every Georgia Southern kid. The idea, let's get them abroad. Let's give them that international experience.
And River Street Sweets is really a company that's known all over the world. I mean, I went to Atlanta and I saw the candy store there. As you go in Charleston, you'll see them. New Jersey.
South Florida.
Don't want to let go without the third ID dancing for us now, too, along with marching. I want to make sure we see that. We see the band.
Now, Kobe Zach was asking, where is the third ID? Kobe, here's the third ID.
Right there. He's like, could I find them? I'm like, well, they're going to be 200 strong, and they're all going to be dressed in military gear. I don't think you're going to miss them generally. So,
what a critical part of our Savannah life.
1912 to present. I was looking at it. They fought in France in World War I is where they started, and then North Africa, Italy, and Germany in World War II, an important part of freedom back then and still even to this day.
Absolutely, a storied regiment.
And you can hear the crowd just cheering them on as they
And
walk
their
through
band
the
is
streets.
fantastic if you've never
Oh,
heard
they
their
are.
band.
I think they're a little more lively this year, though. I've never seen them move like that.
I know, I've never seen them move.
Yeah, yeah. And we know they haven't been at Guinness because they're not allowed. So.
See, Dr. Keeley, you're going to have to improve your moves for next year for the parade route. So, you know.
Yeah.
But seeing those military men who truly enjoy being here too. Now once they're done with the parade, they go out, they have a great time, but they're an important part, as you said, of our culture here in Savannah, in the area, from Fort Stewart, from Hinesville on.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I think is so magical about our whole parade season, because this is a day in a whole parade season, is on the day, the eve of the parade, we have our Jasper ceremony.
Yes.
That is a unique way in which Savannah and our Irish community here honors the U.S. military in general. All the branches of the services, they obviously are thinking of many Irish people who have served, but everybody who has served. And I remember in one year, speakers saying that the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, they actually have a very special feeling about Savannah. They've always felt welcome here. There's never been any kind of resistance to the military. They're at home here.
Yeah, and that makes us feel so good. And, you know, on behalf of everyone here, I'm sure, we'd like to say thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely. I always tell my students the reason that you're in an air-conditioned classroom in safety today is because of young people your age who have made a different choice.
Absolutely. And I mean, they look at the strength. You're talking about force, you know. You come down. I was afraid we were going to miss the first round. Little did I know the next 700 people would be right behind them.
It's like 50% of the parade.
And you talk about a sea of green. I mean, this is actually a sea of camouflage green, but it's green nonetheless.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful.
This is a day off for them to march 3 to 4 miles instead of their usual 10 to 20 to 30. So.
Yes,
and they're not running.
No.
Yeah, and they're not doing it at 6 a.m. So they keep coming. It's wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. And the crowd is really respecting them.
This is maybe one of the largest shows that I've seen out of them. I've never seen this many from Fort Stewart.
Neither have I in this parade, and we've been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Absolutely.
I like the kids respecting it too, trying to look at what the guys have and getting the high fives from them.
Yeah, and who knows, fast forward 20 years, and some of those kids will be in those uniforms. So, yeah, absolutely.
Now, we did see a couple of kisses.
Well, I know they banned it a few years ago.
They did ban it.
I think they sneak back in now. Not quite as outward as the BC girl, chasing the BC guys, but a couple of them get them.
Yeah.
We used to get memos every year saying, please do not encourage your audience to kiss the soldiers. And, you know.
We don't encourage it, but it's certainly respected and understood.
It's
that
respected
it's gonna
and
happen,
understood, especially with moms and wives and girlfriends and loved ones.
And, of course, back in the day, Savannah was very reliant on what we call militias. So in the neighborhoods, groups would get together as militias. So there were 3 Irish militias, there was a African-American militia, German militia, and that's really what constituted the city defense in the early days of the United States when the federal army was much smaller. So we have that strong tradition that then becomes the United States Army, but every city, not least Savannah, had its own urban militias in the city's defense.
I think the Georgia State Patrol might be getting involved just a little bit. You see them over there. But it's something that we touched on last year, Dr. Keeley, and as you mentioned, these different militias, and we were talking about the Irish community and the unique diaspora that was formed between the Irish and African Americans and Jewish people together.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a story that is not completely unique, but very unusual.
Now we're taking a look at Live Oak Public Libraries. They've been in this parade for a couple of years now under the direction of Loa DeWitt, who is the library executive director.
1,000 free events that they put on this year, which is spectacular, and 3,200 free summer lunches, so important to a lot of the kids.
Oh, yes. 6,000 readers participated in their summer reading challenge last summer.
That's what you like to hear.
That's
right there.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. When school is out, the libraries step in. And I can tell you, one of my daughters, her favorite thing to do is go to the library. Dad, take me to the library. And I think that's a good question to be asked.
My daughter spends more time in Barnes & Noble than anywhere else, I believe, so far. But she loves it. Every time, like, when can I? She's got a stack of books ready to read at any point.
So did my daughter, Rashay. I mean, as punishment, for her, not take away TV. If I take away the book, we have a problem.
Rachel's was the same way. Talked about the same thing. She could take everything away. You took away her books, and then she cried.
Yeah, well, that tells you that our school teachers are doing a good job because they are instilling a love of reading.
Yes, and right now the United Way of the Coastal Empire is involved in this reading initiative to get everyone reading on grade level. I'm proud to say that I'm a reading buddy with the United Way, so we meet with children twice a week and help them with their reading skills.
Well, and you just did Dr. Seuss Day as well.
Yes.
You were very animated. I loved seeing
reading
it.
Reading is my thing.
There you go. Good for you, Kim.
We know a little something about reading, right?
Just a little bit. So.
And we just had JCB go by, and I think it's important to give a shout out. What a great city where all of our industries are involved in our cultural life, supporting programs like reading programs. That togetherness in Savannah, to me, it's a great joy of living here, right? And today is a day when we can acknowledge that.
Absolutely. And acknowledging Dr. Estella Shabazz on there on the Savannah City Council float.
Absolutely.
Now, I saw her waving. Now, where are the rest of the council members? I'm thinking they're probably out of that bus and onto the street somewhere. I'm pretty sure Mayor Johnson is walking today.
I'm sure. Van does not stay in that bus for long. He does not like to do that.
Estella's like, let me stay here.
Meanwhile, Estella's got the bus to herself
she
now.
Does.
She's having a heck of a time.
She does, waving at everyone.
She's probably texting, where is Van?
He's out here somewhere.
Absolutely.
You see a few of the council right there. There's Patty Turner with one of them right now.
The 201st anniversary, and out of 201, it's simply the best.
All right, we're here with Nick Colombo. Are we live right now?
Come on, we're here.
Okay, we're going to keep walking. All right, what do you think, Nick, of this parade today?
Patty, we got everybody here. We got Greg Parker just behind me, the entire city of Savannah, all of Georgia. It is an international celebration the world over. So fantastic to have you with us.
Thank you. Greg Parker, great to see you today. How do you think
bringing
of this?
The sunshine to this parade?
That's right. I brought the sunshine here. What do you think of today?
Well, I think it's pretty great. I mean, it's a perfect weather, perfect time, and look at this crowd. They're exceptional.
All right. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day.
But I want everybody to go to Parker's and shop now, okay?
Of course. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Listen,
thanks, Greg.
We saw next to Greg Parker, Alderwoman Carol Bell, and also Jay Melder. We saw him walking in the parade as well.
Nick Palumbo, who we talked to, too.
Yes.
So a little bit still no Van.
Still no
Van
Mayor Johnson.
Somewhere.
He is in there, believe it or not. But he's been really busy entertaining the folks from Wexford County, the folks from Limerick,
Absolutely.
Ireland.
And this morning we have Senator Raphael Warnock.
Yes, he's in town.
Absolutely. And I was at Mass, and Mayor Johnson has the senator as his guest.
If you're wondering where Alderman Dietrich Ledgick is, he's on the top of that float with the microphone.
Yes,
and Senator Warnock's people right behind him. You even called it, Dr. Keel, right there.
There's Senator Warnock walking in today's parade. Of course, he's a Savannah native. He grew up here on the west side of town. He went to Morehouse College, went through Savannah State University's back then college's Upward Bound program, and then went on to be the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, which is Dr. King's former church.
And there we've got Warnock and Van Johnson together with Patty.
Gosh, look who we got today. We got Mayor Van Johnson and Senator Raphael Warnock. Gentlemen, it's great to see you on this Savannah St. Patrick's Day.
It is great to be here in the greatest city on earth, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Glad to have our beloved son, Senator Raphael Warnock, with us. It's a beautiful weather day. It's great.
How do you feel, Senator, being here?
Listen, I'm always happy to be back home in Savannah. This is my favorite city. And to be here on St. Patrick's Day, nothing like the people of Georgia, the people of Savannah, and the luck of the Irish.
How would you describe the crowd today, Mayor?
It's lit, absolutely lit. I mean, we're backing up because people want us. People want to yell us.
And it's still early.
Oh, we just in the first half of the parade. So
It's just getting started.
well, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Aaron go Brian, y'all. Thank you.
Aaron go y'all.
Y'all,
Okay.
absolutely.
And this parade is lit. Do we even say lit anymore? Come on, Mayor Johnson.
Mayor Johnson does.
Yeah, Mayor Johnson
He's been
does.
very busy. He's not caught up on everything. So
But
I
I
just
will
know
say-
I need to up my suit game looking at Senator Warnock's
yes,
suit over
man.
there.
Yes, I had the same thought at Mass. I was actually two pews back from him, directly behind him, and I'm thinking, I look like I just was pulled out of the bed.
Compared to that.
Yeah,
Listen, he's always together and even walking through the parade. And okay, before we head to a break, let's talk about the City of Savannah Police Chief Gunther. He's actually riding on one of the
That's him
horses
right
today.
up front, I
That's
believe.
him in the
This is
middle.
not first
right?
police chief to ever ride a horse in a parade like this. He trained for this day for months to make sure he could do this.
That is so awesome.
And we appreciate you and all that you do and all of the police officers in Savannah for keeping our streets clean and safe today and keeping order,
Absolutely.
on a day like this.
Absolutely. No police, no parade. That's for sure.
That makes a big difference
Yeah.
out there. You forget about how much work goes into this
Oh
to
my
protect
gosh. Yes.
everybody, but
Yeah.
also to make sure everything
Yeah.
runs smoothly, and that's
Absolutely.
exactly what the police department is here for.
And how integrated everything is. The police, the city authorities, and the parade committee.
Yeah.
And so we have Chief Gunther, Assistant
Believe
Chief
that's-
Adams, and Gavin.
That's Assistant Chief Gavin right down there with Patty right now, talking to her front and center. So we'll see what Patty and Chief Gavin have to say.
Yes, Chief Gavin is here. We've got the mounted police and Lenny Gunther back there.
Yes, the chief is up on the horse, and this is the first time our mounted patrol's been in the parade, so they're doing a great job showing everybody what it's like, and everybody seems to be having a great time, and that's what we're looking for.
I you always get a great reception when you see the horses come by, so I know that's got to make you feel good.
It does, and then the horses love the attention, so.
So much, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, guys.
So funny, he said this is the first year the mounted patrol has been in the parade. That's because we're used to seeing the horses at the end.
First time for everything. Georgia State Patrol right behind them, but good to see Chief Gunther right up front. And now we will go ahead and take a quick break as we see the Georgia State Patrol with their lights on, but we'll be shining bright when we come back after this break.
I see what you did there.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV, sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages and ViStar Credit Union.
Yeah, Patty has.
You want to share those favorite moments? Go to hashtag WSAV St. Pat's on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, everywhere for your social media experience. And we'd love to see your pictures and your amazing things. We'd love to see Patty Turner right now with Buddy Carter.
Hey guys, yep, I'm here with Congressman Buddy Carter. So great to see you on this St. Patrick's Day. You're home for one of the biggest celebrations ever.
Absolutely, 201 years. I just could not be prouder of my hometown. This is so wonderful. Everybody's so good.
Okay, we're gonna keep walking and talking, Congressman. So, how many St. Patrick's Days can you remember, Hebe?
Well, you know, when I was in high school, I was in the parade. So I've been doing, and that was only a couple of years ago, of course.
Just a few years ago.
but I've been in it many, many years.
How would you describe the crowd today?
Festive. Festive. That's how I describe them.
Always. Well, Congressman, it's great to see you. Enjoy the rest of the parade, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
It's always a festive time here on St. Patrick's Day. But you know what? We were talking about the crowds earlier, and really, the streets are packed this year. I mean, I know they said this year they wanted to scale down a little bit after last year's 200th anniversary. But y'all.
Yeah. I couldn't see much of a scale then.
No, there's no stopping this. And today, I mean, who would not want to come out on the streets? I will say we had the mayor and we had congressmen, and just from a Georgia Southern perspective,
yes,
we are so grateful to their advocacy on our behalf. In fact, last year, both the mayor and the congressman came to our campus in Wexford. So talk about support. I mean, again, I just can't emphasize it enough, how much the city gets behind the city.
Yeah, and doesn't that mean a lot for the students to have that option? And you said first in Ireland that way.
Yeah.
But to say, by the way, we love Statesboro, but this is your other spot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when we look at the stats, I'm the first guy in my family ever to go to college. I'm the first guy in my family ever to actually graduate a high school.
Wow.
And I can relate to our students. You know, we have 40% of our students are first gen. We have so many students that need financial aid, like Pell and so forth. And can you imagine, you know, we do a little poll when our students get on that airplane and are going to Ireland. How many of you have never been on an airplane before? And more hands than you would imagine go up. So when you think about the power of those scholarships that get those students on that plane, and when you think about the life-changing experience that they're bringing the best of us to Ireland. And Irish people always remark on how polite the students are. They're always taken by yes sir, yes ma'am. It's very cool.
And listen, Dr. Keeley, I was one of those students. I was one of those students at Georgia Southern, back then college. My first plane ride was with the forensics team with the late Dr. Patty Pace at Georgia Southern.
Yes.
So it really does mean a lot to have the community and the city and county and, you know, congressmen and women and senators involved, and especially for them to go and have that experience, that first-hand experience, to see what's being done there and bring it back to
we love it when the mayor or the congressman are, because it puts pressure on our students to step it up, you know, and they do.
You just got a chance to look at Cheer Savannah doing a few stunts for us over there. They actually finished 7th in the World Championships in 2023.
Wow.
25th anniversary for that club. Youth competitive cheer from 4 to 18. They got 200 families, 300 kids. Amazing to see them out there. We were so going to do that on the desk.
Yeah, but we just couldn't get it together. I mean, it's such a small space here.
Dr. Keeley and I were ready to for your stuff.
Yeah, I was going to be the flyer, right?
I thought you were. You were in a flyer.
Yeah,
There's no
I was
question.
Be the flyer. Oh, there they are. Now, Dr. Keeley, do we have a number of Georgia Southern entries in today's parade? Because here are the cheerleaders, and I believe Patty Turner is on the street with them right now.
Absolutely.
From Georgia Southern, it's great to see you.
Happy St. Patrick's on this beautiful day.
I know, we got so lucky, didn't we? Okay, you've been in this parade a number of times. How would you describe the atmosphere today? Look what we got.
Of course, we got Gus, and we got Freedom around. We got our cheerleaders, and we got the Gret School Music Industry Ensemble, the Sound up on our float, and our ROTC cadets. We're here strong. St. Patrick's Day. Hail Southern, go Eagles.
President Marrero, appreciate it. Have a great time here today. Oh, here comes Steve. We got to say hello to Freedom.
Come say hey to Freedom.
Oh, yes. Here we go. All right. Okay. Kim, your Georgia son. Okay, you want to say hi to Kim, your favorite person
Oh,
in the world?
wherever Kim is, she is my favorite, without a doubt.
Of course.
She's a true eagle.
Oh, exactly. And you have our favorite eagle here right now. Yes.
Freedom.
Yes.
Yes, and he is loving it. And the wind, he doesn't even have to move his wings, and he feels like he's flying. So.
Well, it's great to have you here again. It's great to see you.
It's a
great
great
to have
parade.
Freedom. Oh my gosh, it wouldn't be the parade without you. Oh my, here we go.
Well, we got to do our routine. You stay right
I'm
there.
going to stay right here and stay very still. And Freedom's going to do his. Okay. Hello. Thank you, Steve. Have a great time.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
It's always great to see Steve Hine and, of course, Freedom. And Steve is actually my favorite person in the entire world.
Well, you know what? Freedom, the bird, is a treasure, but Steve is a treasure.
He certainly is.
I think if Steve ever leaves Georgia Southern, we're going to have to retool completely.
I think you may be right.
Steve is Georgia Southern. We appreciate him so much.
And speaking of Freedom, the 1st Ranger Battalion from Hunter also showing up here. That may have been the ROTC from Georgia Southern. That is right there, I believe, is the 1st Ranger Battalion. 1942 Company A 1st Ranger Battalion, officially activated in Carrickfergus, Northern Ireland.
Amazing, right? In the Second World War, lots of U.S. bases.
And we talked about the Irish Wolfhounds a little bit earlier. Here is one right here, front and center.
And you know, in the early 20th century, when Ireland was fighting for its freedom, there was a tremendous desire to have symbols, national symbols. And so the Wolfhound became a really central symbol of Ireland and the Irish freedom struggle. World's largest dog, I believe.
One of them, absolutely, in the top couple, that's for sure at worst. So.
And so beautiful.
Patty's down there not to talk to the dogs, but the people with the dogs, I believe, just officially.
All day. So come on, follow us. We have Caitlin Condon here with us. Tell us about your dog.
So we are part of the Irish Wolfhound Alliance. Sorry, Sully, you can keep moving, baby. He just wants to stop. He's like, oh, someone's talking. But we are basically a group of wolfhound owners in the region that just really enjoy showing our dogs off and educating about the breed. So, I mean, why not the parade, right?
It's such a fan favorite. People love to see the wolfhounds every single year.
So funny because we'll be, walking and people are kind of cheering for the group ahead of us. And then we'll turn the corner and people are up on their feet. They're screaming. They're so excited. You love it. You love it.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the rest of the
parade. Thank you.
Wait a minute, Louisiana hot
sauce. By the way, you were talking about it. They were in 1902. The Wolfhounds were named the official regimental mascot for the Irish Guard. So.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. That's some Louisiana hot sauce for your bacon and cabbage, right? or your corned beef and cabbage.
Add a little spice to it.
Need a little something extra out there, no question. And you can wash it down with the Coca-Cola right afterwards. It's amazing how this all works in synergy somehow.
You're going to need a Coca-Cola after you eat some of that hot sauce. Yeah.
And Coca-Cola has very deep roots in Wexford, Ireland. So that is something that's super cool that a Georgia company, I believe that the Wexford facility, which does a lot of research, is one of the very few in the world where that flavor secret is locked up.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's why we have you here, Dr.
Find these things out. I just knew they had a bear. I didn't know much more than that.
Absolutely. So we have actually asked, can we bring our students, our Georgia students, to Coca-Cola Wexford? They very politely say no.
Oh, no. Okay.
So,
there are some secrets that you cannot reveal.
That's absolutely the case. Yeah, but they've been a great employer in Wexford and been invested in Ireland for a long time. But Wexford is kind of their main facility in Ireland. So
you learn something new every day.
There you go.
And they're also honoring our heroes, our veterans, and our first responders on their float. Right behind them, you see the Schweppes. Schweppes is green. It's ginger ale. Appropriate for today.
It all works that way. It's interesting how many things tie back to Ireland, though, that you don't realize.
Absolutely.
And how deep roots there are.
Yes, and we are in a kind of a new era now because Ireland is the 6th largest investor in the United States. So Ireland is a small country, about 5 million people, and much, much larger populations, countries like France and so forth. have huge foreign direct investments into the United States, but as we like to say in Ireland, little old Ireland is making an enormous long-term commitment to the United States, employing tens of thousands of people in Georgia alone. So that connection, which we're celebrating the past, but we're also acknowledging and celebrating the future. So that's going to keep us all together, using our talents, using our passion, and using our belief in community.
A big employer here in Savannah, Great Dane, and we talked about the Wolfhounds being a big dog. That's a big dog.
Absolutely.
125th anniversary in Savannah this year.
Wow. And they're proud to be a part of our community.
Yeah. Big regional employer up there in Statesboro as well. So big employer down up there as well. So shout out to them.
Always good to see them. McDonald's here. You thought Grimace was purple. Apparently for St. Patrick's Day, though, he is turning green for the Shamrock Shake.
I was going to say, did they bring that back this year?
I hope so. I didn't know if they were throwing them out. Hopefully they won't throw them at people because that would be bad for everybody. But
yeah, we're all going to go and get one of those at the end of our commentary, right?
And right before them, we did, I want to mention the Savannah Park and Tree Commission. They passed by us right before we saw them. They want to green up Savannah and plant a tree. But back to McDonald's, they have the Shamrock Shake, but now Leopold's has the green milkshake that they unveiled this year. The greening of the milkshake.
I kind of wish you hadn't said that because I'm going to have to go. You know.
I'm sure there's no line today. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know, my wife says to me, I was looking at the credit card bill and I could tell when you were in Savannah because Leopold's.
But they did the greening of the milkshake. You're right. I'll tell you, there is nothing better. And the stories that Stratton Leopold has to tell about ice cream, about the movies,
goodness.
I could sit down with him for hours and hours. That looks too good. Could someone just bring us a couple of those?
Well,
we would
that
appreciate
seems to be the Grand Marshal there, so maybe he could take a little bit of time out. He's not that busy and bring it up to us.
We'd be happy to show you how much we love that green milkshake.
That looks so refreshing. Maybe Stratton's watching right now. Maybe can have somebody to bring.
And cookies
and the
too.
Cookies.
Well, I do have cookies from Chicken Salad Chick, who gave us cookies earlier too. I forgot. I'm holding out on you for those.
Are you holding on to the cookies?
Well, tell you what, I'm going to get Kim a cookie right now during the break, and we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back with more of Savannah's St. Patrick's Day 2025.
You're watching the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Parade on WSAV. Sponsored by Zero's Hard Beverages.